Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Josh Cates, founder of Hero Marketing. I am here with my great friend Arian, the founder of IgnitePOST, and we have got some exciting news today. We have come together, joined forces, bringing the best of what he does, the best of what we do together so that our clients can succeed. So Arian, man, we are thrilled to be partnered with IgnitePOST. Tell us a little bit more about your company, why you started it, and what you guys do.
Yeah, so first of all, I am super excited as well. So I can't wait to get into it and tell all the good, juicy details. So like I said, my name is Arian Radmand. I'm the founder of a company called IgnitePOST. And essentially what our service does is we enable businesses to create robotically handwritten notes that create perfectly timed and crafted moments that really drive users to action. So it's a really cool solution. We're actually part robotics and part software. We use robotics that hold real pens, real Bic pens to write out real handwritten notes in an actual handwriting style. And then we layer that with a nice software layer so that businesses can trigger those handwritten notes exactly when they need to. And not only can they time them exactly when they need to, but you can interleave these in with your existing marketing communications to really get the benefits of an omni-channel experience. So there's lots of things to kind of get into. There's lots of ways you can use this to benefit and grow your business, both from a lead gen standpoint and from an existing business standpoint. So super excited to get into it.
I love that. Now, so if a client's engaging with your services, how's the list getting to you? Do you guys pull customer prospect lists? Do you mail it? Like, how did the logistics work? I mean, we work with large companies that, they're pulling a lot of levers all the time and they don't have time to, hand address notes and worry about all that. So how do you guys come alongside them to kind of take this thing from concept all the way through delivery to a mailbox?
Yeah. So starting at the very beginning, so one, depends on how people wish to use the service. So if you're talking about lead generation, at IgnitePOST, we do more than just write the actual notes and send them and mail them. So if you're talking about actually creating a list, we actually have data providers. So if you want to target a specific geography or zip code and then drill into specifics about the types of homes and number of beds, assess rates, things like that, we can actually provide that data first. So if you don't have that list data and you want to target a particular area, we can give you that data from one of our data providers. But then, like you mentioned, we actually handle all of the logistics in the back end. So as a user of the service, really the only thing you need to do is figure out what you want to say in your message when you reach out to folks. Our typical card that we send, a typical letter, is a 5x7 standard greeting card, kind of a folded 5x7 card in an A7 envelope. And so the customers get full control over what is written on the envelope, what's written on the inside of the card, the message, and they also get the ability to design the front of the card and full color design for the front of the card so they can say anything they want there. So in terms of the logistics and how it works, really it's about coming up with that creative, and then after you do that, we handle everything from soup to nuts there. So in terms of actually executing the campaign, like you mentioned, there are really kind of two options. So one, a user can come to the dashboard and just upload a list of targets that they want to target. And then we will take that list and send out a bulk handwritten note campaign on behalf of that customer to everybody in the list. That's kind of option one. And then option two is to use one of our integrations or our API and basically interleave this into an existing either marketing flow or set it up with a trigger from your CRM system. It kind of depends on what makes the most sense for that specific customer. But that's the other way that you trigger one of these cards to be sent. So kind of two options, but the system's super flexible.
Yeah, and I think we're deploying both. I love the option of the trigger through the CRM because, for some of our larger clients, and I would classify larger, at least for us, at like, really that 8-9 million and above, especially getting into 8 figures. There are so many moving parts and the customer database is so large, and your comfort members, that's a whole nother database. We like that you guys have such an automated process to trigger. To handle the automation, we never have to touch anything. It goes out to our list. But then I think the other thing that I like and I want you to touch on is the engagement rate. Because one funny thing is, when you and I met, you told me, you're like, I'm going to send you a sample, but I'm not going to let you know when it's coming, and let's see if you open it. And, I'm like everybody else. I'm pretty particular. I get through the mail quick, and
Yeah.
if it's not a bill or something of interest to me that I know I need to open, it's going in the recycle bin. And you got me, because I was like, oh, this is a really nice handwritten letter. It had a real stamp. It looked like it. I mean, like you said, these are true ballpoint pens. So it was like, oh, here's a letter to me. Open it up, and of course, it's an Ignite Post letter from you. So I think that I've been in business for a long time. And I mean, I remember sitting down when the business was younger and before digital was really hot and writing handwritten notes to families, to clients, customers. And I think there's a charm about a handwritten note that's been lost. But the reality is, for a larger 7 or 8 figure business, logistically, they can't compete with what you do, thanks to AI and thanks to automation. So I think you're taking the technology side of what you guys do with the warmth and the charm of a handwritten letter, and it comes together beautifully, and it marries very well with what we do as a full service agency. So, I think from our end, we're excited to meet some of your clients who are, using your services and finding benefit there, but then saying, okay, well, what else can we be doing to assess, align, and accelerate what we're doing with our marketing? So let's talk a little bit about engagement rates. I know you guys have got some great case studies on your website. You monitor the data closely. Compared to like a traditional direct mail, like I would think of like an oversized card for a pool builder, or a heating and air special, like a postcard where you're instantly served up the offer. And those work, right? We have people that do those. But how do you find the engagement rate of the handwritten note where they are unexpected, they open it, they have a warm greeting? What do you find for your engagement rates on those?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So in terms of engagement rate, as long as you can get the address right and you actually send the letter to the right address, we have a 99% open rate. So just like you mentioned, when a handwritten note arrives on your doorstep, it doesn't get tossed with the rest of the, direct mail, or what most people call kind of junk mail. And there's a reason why direct mail has that kind of reputation of being junk mail, because the oft quoted stat is about 20% of it gets thrown away without even being opened or looked at. And that's kind of just the initial point. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is if you're using traditional direct mail, about 20% of it or so is probably tossed without even being looked at.
If not more.
I think that stat is low. For me personally, it's low. I know I toss way more than that, but that's what the industry stat is. So we'll stick with that for now. But if you compare our solution, so the handwritten mail versus traditional direct mail, in terms of response rates, we have a response rate that's about 10 times higher than traditional direct mail. So if you have direct mail in your strategy right now, wherever that is, wherever that's landing, whatever response rates you're seeing, you can expect to about 10x it if you're using handwritten mail. And then if you're talking about email, it's even more, right? I think we're about 30 times higher than email in terms of response rates. I mean, it's very, very few people get responses on emails these days. It's getting harder and harder by the day to like really cut through all the noise. I think the last stat I saw was, if you're an email user in the US, you get about 120 emails in your inbox every single day. So it's getting very crowded there and very difficult to really cut through and connect with your recipient.
Well, I love it. I think it's a great strategy. We're very pleased with the product, and we're pleased that we are expanding our relationship, because, when I look, we started Hero 20 years ago. And so when we started, direct mail was huge, newspapers, magazines, a lot of the traditional medias were very big. And then everybody shifted very heavily, as you know, into digital, websites, social media, digital advertising. And there's still a place for that. I mean, we do kind of, when we look at like a client's revenue funnel through their CRM, typically what we see, or what we want to see, is organic's always going to be at the top. So we want people finding you on Google through search, coming to your website organically, or coming to you through your Google business profile. Second to that is typically paid advertising. And then shortly after that is direct mail, rehashing, which I would consider some of your automations a rehashing campaign, social media, and word of mouth. And so I think, again, this is a very important tactic for home service business owners to be using. And I think you guys deliver it with excellence, and I love your product. So we're excited about this partnership. Can't wait to see where it goes from here, and just exposing what you do to more of our clientele. And I just think you've got a great thing with IgnitePOST. So congrats on your success, and let's keep growing you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited as well. And then kind of the other side of the coin as well, I always viewed IgnitePost as kind of a tool in your tool belt, right? And so, like you mentioned, a lot of our customers right now, this is one component of the strategy. And so that's one of the reasons we're super excited to partner with Hero, because like anything, everything's omni-channel, right? Nothing works in a silo these days. So to bring in your expertise and knowing kind of the bigger picture of how all the different pieces fit together, and then being able to add in this tool to your toolkit, I think is going to be super powerful, not just for your customers, but now giving our customers that ability to go and kind of layer on that strategy, right? We always like to say we're the paintbrush, we're not the artist. So now it's really exciting to have an artist with some, expertise to actually come on and help with the strategy portion of all of our customers. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, we are as well, I tell you. And, the thing about it, and Casey, our client strategist, we talk about this with our client portfolio and with our partners quite a bit is, all of these tactics are only as good as you're measuring it. And so we're spending, honestly, almost as much time with the clients on strategy, operational decision making, their CSRs and how they handle phones and book calls and leads, and then how they're reporting. And, most of our clients are on Service Titan, some are on House Call Pro, but either way, how are you reporting that data from your CRM? And so what I love about this product with IgnitePOST is it's another, like you said, it's another omni-channel platform where we're hitting that homeowner, that direct mail piece, but it's so traceable and trackable. And I love that because, the second that a customer of ours is proving out a concept of making revenue, then it just makes it that much easier to expand on that model and grow it. So we're thrilled, man. This is great. Thanks for spending some time with us today, and looking forward to bringing both of our services to the home service sector, continuing to grow. And just, at the end of the day, I think we both share the same passion, which is we're small business owners and we help small business owners grow and build the company of their dreams. And that's a pretty cool way to spend your time each day.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't wait. There's going to be so many fun applications of this technology, and I can't wait to see how what people do and help everybody grow.
Very good. Well, Arian, thanks again for spending some time with me today, and here's to future success.
Future success indeed. Yes.